Some of them literally said to me that they know one of them should run. But if they didn't win, they would be punished. Because we're still into budget time now. The speaker determines how much capital money your community gets and expense money for programs, which is why we want to reform it so that we can have equitable distribution of capital or based on a community need. And that way they would be more emboldened to speak up. They fear her power. That's why they didn't vote for me. Not because they didn't think it was our time to be speaker. They fear her power, and they fear and they mistrust each other. They don't think that they can get each other to support themselves. And that was the disappointing part of it. So it's the fear of her power. That's why we need...
Even when you run for a speaker, that they vote against you?
Right, because they know if they vote for me and I don't win, they will be punished. And it's difficult to get all 27 to vote the same way because they don't trust each other, because they know she can pick one of them off by offering them things like a chair, like a little more money for their community. And remember the Times article that showed the top money getters in the speaker in the city hall was white men. It was what's his name? Dominic Recchia, Simca Felder, David Weprin. I'm talking about millions of capital money. By the time you got to a black person, it was down to $4 or $5 million, and that was Leroy Comrie. Prior to that, the first 7 or 8 were whites. And when you say they got the money, their communities got it. So it's not about a council member getting any money. It's about the white community getting more money from this speaker than the black and Latino community that is a needier community.
Exactly.
And that's why I wanted to run. That's why we need reforms, because it's not about me. I'm going to be fine.
Right.
It's about our community.
Exactly.
What's the legal basis for a lawsuit? I mean, she does have the authority and the power to appoint whomever she wants to committees, and it was voted on.
We're going to look into that. One of the things I want to look into is that even though you have authority to do things in the legislative process, it's this the judiciary process that makes sure you don't abuse that authority. So because she has authority, that doesn't mean she can violate First Amendment rights. And that doesn't mean that she can violate the right to dissent. And that doesn't mean she can violate the right to represent. Those things we should let the courts decide. If the courts decide that, yes, she has those rights, then so be it. But I think it should be challenged at least so that we can say, we want to make sure that any power that was bestowed upon this body, it is not abused and squashes the constitutional rights for dissent, for me to have my First Amendment right to voice my political views and opinions.
You mentioned that you intend to go to the next meeting of the Higher Education
Yes.
Committee, and you intend to be a sort of an opposite chair. That
No, I'm going to be the chair, not an opposite chair.
well, he's going to be the chair,
No, what I'm going to
and
do.
you're going to be there,
I'm going to be there, and what I'm
and
going
the
to
two
do.
of you will try to control the meeting.
No, it'll be smooth. I'm going to allow him to chair. See, what I'm going to do is the people's chair, I'm going to get the hammer and say, this meeting is now in session, you may proceed. So I will give him the power to chair.
I see.
That's what I'm going to do.
But you're not going to be disruptive.
No,
and try to
no,
stop.
Me?
You've never been disruptive.
I have never disrupted any. The only thing I ever disrupted was injustice.
Well, you always bother the Jefferson statue,
Now that's disruptive.
so you're not going to,
Well,
to
actually,
interfere with the operations of the committee.
I met with Adonis Rodriguez, and my words to him is that I'm a consummate professional, and I believe the priority is the CUNY students, and I'm going to work to make sure that he knows what he's doing so that CUNY students can get the best for themselves. Politically, I'm going to slam him every chance I get, but professionally, I'm going to see to it that he becomes even a better chair than I, because if he does better than me, then that's better for the CUNY students.
You're going to also write to the Council Ethics Committee.
Right.
And they had ethics in the council.
Well,
Seems like an oxymoron.
I'm with you on that.
Do you really expect them to do anything? I mean,
Well-
they're all appointed by Quinn. And,
Right, that's the point we want to make, Frank, is that when I write to them that they should look into this, but that we have no recourse. We can't go to the Standard and Ethics Committee. We can't complain to anybody in there. That has to be highlighted so that we see